In today's session of Divorce Court, Lowanda Smith says being married to Herman has sucked the life right out of her.
It's controlling. He wanted
Who's
to.
controlling?
You are very controlling.
No.
One day I changed the living room around. He came home. Why'd you change the living room around? Taking the garbage out. He would get upset. Shoveling the snow.
She ain't shoveling no snow. Look at her.
If I walked to the mall dressed up, he wouldn't talk to me.
She is lying.
Today, Lowanda Smith tries to get her life back as she faces Herman Smith in divorce court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Lowanda Smith versus Herman Smith. I'm advised that you have been married 7 years, and now you want to end it. Ms. Smith, tell me why.
Well, it started with his family. Just always treating our kids differently. Treating other grandkids better than our grandkids.
Like what?
One Christmas,
That's
what
not
we
true.
had at our house, they brought all the toys, video games, box of clothes for the other grandkids. My kids sat around and just looked.
That's not
true.
They didn't bring your children anything?
They bought my son pajamas and my
That's not
daughter
true.
pajamas.
Can you explain that? Is there some reason why your parents would buy, what is this, another sibling's children
my
more
nieces.
than your children?
Those are my nieces. My kids already have the things that they bought my nieces now.
That has nothing
She's
to
making
do
it out
with
to
it.
be more than what it is.
So you're saying that your brother, is this your brother or your sister's
my
children?
brother's kids.
One of the things I've learned being a parent and a grandparent and an aunt and an uncle is that if you explain and talk to children,
Thank you.
they usually don't care about all of those
Thank
things.
you.
Adults put those ideas in their
Thank you.
heads about
course.
somebody is making a difference in you
Of
versus
course.
someone else.
Thank you.
And I venture
But
to
this
say,
is all the time.
did you ever ask your in-laws why they did
No,
that?
I asked him to ask his in-laws because they really didn't care for me anyway.
That's not. That's
So you
not
just feel
true.
that you're not liked by them, period.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you wouldn't
That is
communicate with
not
them
true.
Well,
anyway.
no, I
That is
would
not true.
communicate with them, but I knew I would say certain things to them. I would talk to him to talk to his family.
So you want a divorce because of that?
No, it's not. It's controlling. He wanted
Who's
to.
controlling?
You are very controlling.
No.
Tell me about his
It
control.
First, it started with one day I changed the living room around. He came home. Why'd you change the living room around? Then it started
So
with.
you just answered him,
no.
right?
Wait a
No,
second,
I
what?
answered him, but he was upset, wouldn't talk to me for a
she's
day.
lying.
That
Because
was
you
the
changed the
first.
living room
lying.
furniture,
Because
you
I
wouldn't
did
talk.
it. I did
Wait
it
a
by
minute.
myself.
Your Honor.
These are things I did
Your
by
Honor,
myself. He
she
didn't
is
want
lying.
me to do
I'm a
anything by
social
myself.
worker. I
Taking
work
the
with
garbage
kids.
out.
Hold on, Mr. Smith.
It's my
Taking
job
the
to
garbage
reflect.
out. He would get upset. Shoveling the snow.
He got upset because you took the garbage
Take
out?
the garbage out. They wouldn't take it out. He would
Yeah.
get upset about that. Little controlling things. Then
You
I
call that
couldn't stay out.
controlling?
And then I couldn't stay out after
Yeah.
dark. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
won't talk to me for 2
Yeah.
days after I'm just taking the garbage out.
Mr. Smith,
No way
I
in
bet
the
you I
world.
know why you didn't
No
want her
way
to
in
take the
the
garbage
world.
out, because you wanted to do it, right?
No, she can take the garbage out anytime she feel
Yeah.
like it. Never that. Never that.
But
Never.
what about changing the furniture? Weren't you just concerned that she may hurt herself? Is that what it was?
If she felt like changing the furniture around, be my guest.
So you didn't have a
Never.
problem with that either?
No.
Going to
come
the
on.
mall, being
What about
dressed up,
shoveling the
going to
snow?
the
You didn't have a
mall.
problem with that?
She ain't shoveling no
He
snow.
wouldn't
Look
talk to me
at
for
her.
like 2 days.
She ain't shoveling no snow, Your Honor.
You shoveled the
Be for
snow,
real.
Mrs. Smith?
I like
Your
doing
Honor.
stuff like that.
Your
And your
Honor.
husband would complain?
He would complain. He would not talk
Honor.
to me for 1 and 2 days. If
I
I went
find
to the
that
mall,
incredible.
Please, I do too.
If I went to
thank
the
you.
mall dressed
Please.
up, he
Please.
wouldn't talk to me. These are
Well,
little
wait a
things
minute.
that started.
I find it incredible that
come on.
any man
No,
would
no.
complain that you shoveled the
No.
snow and kept him from having to do
Your
it.
Honor.
Exactly.
Other than the
this
fact,
is crazy,
Honor.
isn't it? It's
other than the
very
fact that
crazy.
he would be
problem.
concerned about your health, or perhaps
There's
that it's too
nothing
much
wrong
for
with
you to
my
be
health.
out there.
There's nothing wrong with my
So
health.
you call it controlling.
Little things like that.
That's
and
a
then
lie. She's making this up. The
That's-
whole point of our relationship was that we had no communication. We had problems with her trying to make me
Not
choose
that you
between
had
my
no
family.
communication, you did not communicate.
Exactly. My brother and her didn't get along. Incident happened where an argument took place. He was wrong. I stepped in and intervened. We wasn't talking. He passed away 3 weeks later. Okay.
And did you blame your wife for that?
I blame. I would say yes, and myself, because I don't
Because
think
of the argument?
I could have handled it differently. But at the funeral, while I'm dealing with
Wait a minute,
my
you know
brother passing
hindsight
away,
always tells us that. But if your brother died 3 weeks after an argument,
right?
We're not in control of death.
Oh,
None of us.
I understand that. I understand
It
that. And
was
I had
his
to come
time
to grips
die.
with that.
So you shouldn't blame yourself.
Well, you know, that's my own thing that I'm dealing with. But like I said, the whole thing was I'm dealing with this, and at the funeral, all she could think about was who attended the funeral. You know, an ex-girlfriend in high school
I didn't
came
even
to
know
the
that was
funeral. That's a whole focus. Months out, she's still focusing on who
Your
was at the funeral.
ex-girlfriend came to the funeral.
High school. This was in high school.
So that just
I was
means she knew the
29 years
family.
old.
Exactly.
I was 29 years old. I'm 29 years
caused
old.
the
But my
problem?
brother.
Did that cause a problem?
Yes.
Why?
What caused the problem was about a week earlier, I called his job, and the answering lady who answers the phone called me her name.
The girlfriend's name.
Called me the girlfriend's name.
That's
and I
true.
said,
No.
Herman, does she call you at work? If she calls you at work, I'm not gonna, you know.
So you thought the ex was
Your
being
Honor,
revived to
that
the
is-
current?
No.
Your Honor,
And
Your
then
Honor.
she came to the funeral.
Hold on a second. If his brother has died,
Right. It wasn't a big
and
thing.
it's
to
2
me.
weeks later,
Right.
and the ex-girlfriend who grew up with him in high school,
Right.
families and friends don't separate because you marry.
Of course.
Naturally.
I had no problem
Your
with that.
Honor,
I had
that is-
no
But
problem
Even
with
if
that.
lying.
she called his job, why would you be concerned about that?
Your
If she
Honor.
called his job, she's married, right?
I'm a social worker. That could have been one of my clients. How did she automatically assume that was the person that I had been
And she
seeing a long
just may have
time
been
ago?
a friend calling to console her, to talk about old times.
When he got on the phone, I said, you know, they called me such and such name.
That
And
don't-
he said,
what that mean?
oh, that's blase, blase. I didn't think anything of it.
Your
And then
Honor,
his
she is lying.
mother.
That's not true, Mrs. Smith,
She
because
is
the first
lying.
thing you told me was
She's
what
lying.
upset you was, and the problem was
At
when
the-
you called the
I'm talking
job,
about
they called you the
afterwards.
name.
Okay.
And that
And
was,
then I questioned him. I said, Herman,
she's lying.
they just called me something. And he had an answer for it, like he has an answer for everything. He made it seem like everything was okay. And I didn't
Because
think anything
everything
else
was
of it.
okay.
And then she came to the funeral. After the funeral, I said, oh, no. I was coming out the
She's
bathroom.
lying.
He was up.
Hold on. She hasn't said anything, so what's she lying
She's
about?
lying because I can tell you what
No,
she's
let me
finna say.
tell you what
Oh,
happened.
he's a
This is
social
what.
worker. Wait a minute. You're a social worker and a mind reader?
This
I
is
know
what
this
happened.
lady
This is
in
what
and out.
made me draw
Okay, well,
a
I don't know it.
conclusion.
Let me hear what she has to say.
This is what made me draw the conclusion. When I was coming
Draw
out,
what conclusion?
I mean, think about what was going on
That it
at
may
the
be
funeral.
getting revived.
Yeah.
She's
so I was
married.
coming out the back. I don't know what she is.
Well,
I
now,
told you
wait a
that.
minute.
No,
wait
you
a
didn't
minute.
tell
She's
me.
married.
She's
Married
married.
people have affairs.
I don't.
Exactly.
Well, you
Okay.
may
I
not.
can't count for nobody
What
else,
I'm
but I
saying to
don't.
you was the fact that she's married and you keep yelling she's married
don't.
as though that makes it
Different.
sanctity.
She is
it
not
should
married
be,
to her.
but not always.
She is married to me, and she's supposed to trust and understand
I
that
do
I don't
trust
do that.
and
Well, let me
understand
hear
you.
what
When I
made
came
you-
out of the bathroom, he was over talking to his mom because he did introduce me to her and her mom. So he was over there talking to her mom, and he said, "Which way did Stacy go?"
So because he asked which way Stacy went, you got suspicious.
No, I just asked. I was
She's
just
lying,
questioning.
y'all.
I always question
She's
him.
lying.
I always
Miss Smith,
do.
I think that
She is
you.
lying.
I think that
She
the
got a lack
fact
of-
that
And
you
it's
died at
always
home.
come out to be true too.
When divorce court returns, Herman accuses Lowanda of putting on an act in court.
So what finally pushed you to divorce?
I just had a baby.
Here come the tears. What are you saying?
This is what she does. She
So
does it
these
all
are
the time.
phony tears? Is that what you're telling
All
me?
the time. She would cry for anything.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce Court is back in the case of Lowanda Smith, who says her husband Herman was so controlling, he wouldn't even let her take the garbage out by herself.
You're at home, right?
Yeah, and I have nothing
And you have
else
a
to do.
lot of idle time, huh?
Yep.
And all the kids are in school.
I couldn't work. He didn't want me to work.
So you're spending too much time conjuring up things.
Too much time thinking.
Your
I
Honor.
wonder if
Maybe
that's
you need
true.
to go to your kids' school and volunteer.
And I used to do that.
Your Honor, she is lying. She is lying.
So what finally pushed you to divorce? 'Cause this has
I
been
had
going
just
on a
had
while.
a baby. I had just had a baby.
What finally pushed us to divorce is the situation
Hold on a
with my
second.
brother.
Your wife is talking. Let me hear that.
I had just had a baby.
Here come the tears. What are you saying?
This is what she does. She
So
does it
these
all
are
the time.
phony tears? Is that what you're
All
telling
the
me?
time. She would cry for anything. Trust me. I'm telling you, she's lying.
She won't cry for anything. She's been standing here talking to me for the longest and hasn't cried.
Sure she has.
Only time I
we
cry
go.
is if it really hurt. Family hurts
Come
me.
on, social worker. Don't be like that.
I'm used to it,
When
so
it's
it doesn't affect me.
when
at
you're
all.
That's another
Anyway.
problem. You're not affected by her tears.
Exactly.
Maybe if her
For
tears
what?
had affected you, you would have done some changes.
Your Honor, I have bent over backwards for this woman,
All right, let me hear what she has to say.
and doesn't move.
Okay, I had just had a baby, and I got out the hospital. Maybe 2 weeks later, I found out that we're 2 months behind in rent,
She's lying.
as usual.
She's lying. She is
Every
Now you have
apartment.
financial
Your Honor,
problems.
she is
We've
lying.
always have every house we've ever moved from. We've always left owing something.
Your Honor, she
We
is
were 2
lying.
months behind in rent. I
She is
said,
lying, Your
I'm going to go up. And
Okay, she's lying. Can I hear the lie, please? And then let me decide if it's a lie.
I said I was going to go up, you know, because this kind of shocked me or whatever. Again, another situation. So I said, I found out about it. He was intercepting the mail that they were sending to us. So I went and stayed with my mother for about a week or two with my baby. So when I got back, I wanted to clear the air. I said, okay, I'm back. You know, we're
Can I interrupt
going to
you?
deal with this.
No, you may not interrupt her.
We're going to deal with this. We're 2 months behind in the rent. We need to do something. So we got into this big heated argument. He said, well, if I don't understand why you came back anyway. That hurt. Being that my baby
A month after you have a baby.
Exactly. My baby is little. I needed his support. And he tell me, why am I back? So I leave, you know. I said, okay, fine, I'm gone.
So you're saying to me that he wouldn't allow you to work,
Mm-hmm.
didn't want you to work. You had a baby, but he's not paying all of the bills, and so now you have financial difficulties on top of all these other family matters?
Exactly.
Family issues? Mr. Smith?
That would sound bad.
So
wouldn't
that's a lie that you didn't pay the
it?
rent?
Oh, Lord, yes. Yes.
So you did
She
pay
is-
the rent?
Your Honor, she is lying. Let me explain to you
Wait,
what happened.
I asked you one
Yes,
question.
the rent was paid. Yes, the rent
Why
was
would
paid.
she lie and
Your
say
Honor.
the rent wasn't paid?
But why is she doing all the lines she's doing? I have no idea.
So what can I do for you?
When we decided that we was gonna get a separation, she came to the house, she had left. I called and told her I was moving because that apartment that I lived in was expensive. I was gonna move to a less expensive apartment because it was just myself. She came up on the Thursday, cut up the leather furniture, broke out the mirror on the curio cabinet. We have a water bed that have individually water tubes with a
We?
mattress going on top.
We? Who bought that?
I bought it.
I bought it
Where
from
you get
Mama's
money
house.
from? Anyway, how you gonna destroy property and then ask for these things back? No, I'm not giving you nothing back. I mean, that's only common sense, Your Honor.
What
Did you do
happened,
all that, Miss
no.
Smith?
Did you do
this
all
is
that?
what happened.
No,
I just want to know.
I
first-
came to the house.
No, Miss Smith.
Everything was all packed up.
Miss
I'm
Smith,
looking at it like
Listen to me. Did you cut up all of that furniture?
I broke the curio cabinet.
Oh, the
But you
furniture
didn't
just-
cut up the leather furniture?
No.
And you didn't cut up the waterbed mattress?
Oh, that was my waterbed. How can he move somewhere without letting me know and taking my stuff?
But you see, you
Your
didn't answer my
stuff.
question, Miss Smith. I asked you, did you cut
She's
it up?
lying as usual. I'm telling you.
So now,
Is he still sleeping in it?
Yes.
does it matter?
That means evidently it's not tore up too bad.
Oh yeah. Oh, well,
So you think,
you see, Your Honor, you see what I'm saying?
well, now I see that.
Are you and
You
your
see,
family now
vindictive.
sitting at our dining table with our
Vindictive.
curio cabinet?
She's
Evidently, it
Miss
must
Smith,
not be torn up
but
too
see,
bad
that's
or
not the
broke.
issue. I asked you a question, and
See what
I
I'm
see
saying?
now that you don't tell me the whole truth.
She doesn't.
I said, did
I've
you
been
cut up
telling you that.
anything? And you said,
I said
I just broke the curio
mattress
cabinet.
and the mattress. You
No,
asked me,
you didn't say that
did
until I
cut
asked
the
you the
mattress?
questions.
Yes.
How did
I
leather
cut the
furniture
mattress.
get cut?
You kind
from?
of told me the part you wanted to tell me.
Who has the leather furniture?
You do.
So now what do you want me to do about it?
I want it
Exactly.
back.
You want the cut up leather furniture back?
I fixed it so it's sittable, it's livable. I want it back.
So you had to repair it?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
he put
I repaired
he
it as
took
best
a
that I
pen
could.
that was the same color as the couch and wrote. That's how bad it was.
But you didn't cut it up, though.
He has my entertainment center. He has my baby
Who
brass
purchased it?
bed that he hasn't given
Baby
back
bra-
to. The baby brass bed, the gray with the brass. That you,
The
I
baby
heard.
brass bed.
Exactly.
The baby bed in which I tried to give.
Oh,
so
you
you're
tried
saying,
to give it
wait
to
a
me?
minute. You're saying that he has all of the furniture?
He was like, no, I'm keeping everything and I'm moving.
Your
This
Honor.
is what he did.
So since he told you he was keeping everything, you decided
I
I'll
said,
destroy
you
it.
ain't getting it if I ain't getting it.
Your Honor.
Exactly.
If I can't have it, nobody will have
She
it.
is
He
lying.
ain't get. You know what? I got 3 kids with me. He has his own, only
Honor.
himself.
Your
He
Honor.
didn't want to
Smith,
give me
wait.
anything. A table, a couch, nothing. You know what he did with our silverware? Gave me 2. He take 4.
All right, all I want to know
That
is
is her.
you're telling me that the furniture is all cut up,
Yes.
but Mrs. Smith has it,
Yes.
and you want it.
Yes.
Now, Miss Smith, you're saying that it's cut up or it's not cut up?
It's not cut up. The
And you
curio
want it.
cabinet is broke. First of all, the furniture, the padding.
Where is the curio cabinet?
He has the dinette set and the curio
Because that-
cabinet.
she
Where is the
didn't- she
leather
didn't ask for
furniture that you cut up?
It's thrown away. It ain't even. It's no more good.
Where is it? Is it no good or is it thrown away? There's two
both of
inconsistent
them.
statements.
I would have kept it if it was some good.
No, answer my question. Is it thrown away
it's
or it's
thrown
no
away.
good?
It's thrown away.
What else are we talking about?
I would like my grandfather clock back.
What grandfather clock?
Oh, now what grandfather?
Now,
She
you know what?
understands
I'm not going to sit here and do this piecemeal. I am really not going to do this. This is just
you
getting to
asked
be
me what
ridiculous now.
You asked me what I would
Okay,
like back.
but
She knows what I'm talking
Hold
about.
on a second.
She's just playing.
Did anybody get a list of the household furniture and furnishings that the two of you purchased and you want? I was told there was some evidence. Anybody have a list?
A list?
Yes, a list. You know what I mean?
Everything
Write it
we
down,
have,
everything
we
you have.
purchased together. Outside of the TV that I brought to the relationship, we purchased together.
But everything, I don't know where it is.
She had, Your Honor, everything all of a sudden mysteriously is no good.
Can I get one
broken.
question answered? Do you have the household furniture and furnishings other than the curio cabinet and the dinette set? Do you have the rest of it?
No, he has everything. Only thing I have is the living room set.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
You just said it. I did. Got it. Am I good or am I good? All right.
And an update on the case of Darlene Alexander versus Clifton Garcia.
After you laid up with him, had sex, conceived a child, and gave birth, then he tells you better lose the weight or I dump you.
Yes, you want me.
You got a nerve. What is your problem?
No.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back in the case of Lowanda Smith, who says after she married Herman, he took complete control of her life.
Now, here's the problem you present for this court. She has everything, he has everything. I'm not going to your house, and I'm not going to your house. So if you wanted me to decide who had this stuff, somebody should have brought me some evidence of something. But you know what? Wait a minute. I know the furniture didn't get up and walk.
Of course.
Somebody moved it.
I did.
Somebody has.
My brothers went down there last summer and got it.
Okay, now you just said it. I did. Got it. Am I good or am I good? All right.
I had the living room set.
I said furniture. I did not categorize.
No, he
I said
already told you
somebody
he
moved
had
the furniture.
He told you
All right.
all he has already,
I
the
had
curio cabinets and the
entertainment
bed.
center.
Let me
Everything
tell-
else.
and here's what I'm going to do. The value of all the furniture the two of you had, give me a total value. Everything you had in the house. What was it worth?
I say $3,000, somewhere around there.
What's your value?
It's about $3,500.
What? You're going to agree almost? Miracles can happen if you just work at it long enough. So $3,500 and you say $3,000. Okay, we're gonna take the difference. $3,250. Total furniture value. All right? Here's the court's order. You write me a list of the furniture that you say that you had at marriage and its value. You write me a list of the furniture you say that you had at marriage and its value. Each of you is going to get furniture valued at $1,625 total.
So I can go shopping at her house. Then,
You
right?
go shopping at her house and you go shopping at his.
I don't want to go to his house.
I don't have any way of knowing if it's at either of your house. But if you had it at the time you separated, you both are entitled to half of it. Now, each of you should walk away with furniture totally valued at $1,625
So go in
each.
his house and get a, okay.
I don't care how you do it.
You got more.
But that's what
I said,
happens.
wow.
Now, if the item is missing, then you give it to it in cash value. That's the court's order. Court's adjourned.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Darlene Alexander versus Clifton Garcia.
Your Honor, he's gonna have another baby.
By you or somebody
No,
else?
by somebody else.
You haven't divorced your wife yet and you got someone else pregnant? What is this? You think you're the only one that's supposed to contribute to the population?
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Darlene Alexander said that her husband Clifton gave her an ultimatum: lose weight or the marriage was over.
After you laid up with him, had sex, conceived a child, and gave birth, then he tells you better lose the weight or I dump you.
Yes, you want me.
You got a nerve. What is your problem? You're not of the best weight size either.
Your Honor, it's associated with me cooking. Your Honor, he's gonna have another baby.
By you or somebody
No,
else?
by somebody else.
You haven't divorced your wife yet and you got someone else pregnant? What is this? You think you're the only one that's supposed to contribute to the population?
Darlene agreed that she burned her husband's clothes out of anger, and the judge ordered her to pay $250 to replace his clothes. Darlene is relieved that her marriage is over and is already dating a new man. Clifton says the most important woman in his life is their 4-year-old daughter and plans to take Darlene to court to get full custody.
Well, at least I'm getting something back, because right now, like I said, I only got a few items, and she trying to make it out like I had everything, but she came up and she cut it all up.
The couch set isn't really worth anything. It's thrown out. It wasn't no good, so.
I will never get married again. At least not that I'm aware of right now, anyway.